Elizabeth.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Leanne.
Did you get my email, Beth? Elizabeth?
You mean about the residents group?
Yeah,
I did, yep.
good. Thank you.
I'll stay tuned in.
Good. Good girl.
As much as I can, Leanne, as you understand.
And I truly understand. I'll swap schedules with you. How you doing tonight, Mark?
I'm okay. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I tell you, this market's crazy. Still the same way. You list them, you sell them, same weekend.
Well, that's a good problem to have.
Yes, it is. I'm very happy with that problem.
Yeah.
It's finding the next one to sell. My daughter-in-law is working with me. She's just a godsend.
That's great. I remember when she was coming to join you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh,
Hey, Mark.
is that Dom?
Yeah.
iPhone 139?
I'm not
That's his
sure.
alias.
Well, that's what it says.
All right, I'm on 139.
Agent 139?
That's right. How is everybody?
Good.
Fine.
Doing well.
Good, good.
We don't have a quorum yet.
Okay.
I know I had heard from Jim that he was going to be attending, and I know Mike's around. He just sent me an email.
Okay.
Yeah, he sent me an email at 4:30, so hopefully he'll be joining us shortly.
Elizabeth,
Yes, sir.
do we have to vote on the minutes, approve the minutes for the 25th of September
Yes,
and the minutes for October as well, correct?
correct. Mhm.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure I had it right.
I know, I was behind in my homework.
So there's Jim. Okay. So we do have a quorum now.
All right.
I don't know if you want to wait a minute or two for Mike or,
Sure.
okay.
All right, a minute's up. No, I'm kidding. So you're staying busy, Mark?
Yeah, I am
Good. Well, that's a
trying to
good
keep
thing.
trying to keep my head above water.
Well, you're alive and kicking, so it must be above the water.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Well, let's see if he sent me a text. No. Okay.
So, Mark, I was very surprised that it took so long for the town to advertise for those maintenance jobs.
Oh yeah. So
I mean, that was like 5 weeks.
yeah. So there's a little bit of a backstory to that.
Okay.
They were the town was trying to was offering maintainers the opportunity to become operators, which requires a CDL license. And so they had to post that for a couple of weeks to see if there was any interest in maintainers becoming operators. And the town was going to cover the cost of the CDL license, because you have to have a CDL license in order to drive the big plow trucks. And there's a shortage of staff with CDLs. And so that added a couple of weeks to the whole process because they wanted to wait to see how many maintainers opted to get their CDL license, and then they would become operators. So that held things up, I think, for a couple of weeks. Yeah. The only constant is change. We our community outreach coordinator, Clayton, gave his notice on Monday.
Oh, did he really? Wow.
He did, yeah. He's going to work for the planning department. So John Reiner's getting me back for taking Tabitha. He's taken Clayton. And Clayton, that's what he went to school for, was like economic development. So he really, when this position came up, this is something that he's been kind of in his sights for a while. So, and I think he'll do a terrific job.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Yeah. So we're already getting ready to post the position.
Good.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm not sure what happened to Mike. He hasn't showed up yet, so I don't know if we want to get started now at this point. It's 7 past.
Okay, so let's call the meeting to order. And the roll call, we have myself, Elizabeth, Jim, Mark, and
Leanne.
Leanne. Thank you.
Thank you.
I know first agenda is approval of the meeting minutes. So why don't we start with the September 25th meeting? Did everybody have an opportunity to take a look at them? And are we going to approve them as we have read them? Sounds good. Would somebody like to make a motion? No?
It's either got to be Jim or Elizabeth.
Well,
Yeah,
I wrote them,
I'll
so I
make the
can't very
motion.
well make a motion.
Okay.
yeah, I'll
right.
make the motion to approve them. Yep,
Thank
And
you.
I'll second it.
okay. They look
Um,
to me, yep.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So moved. That was it, right, Elizabeth?
And then we have the October minutes.
Okay, October 23rd. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Did everybody get a chance to read it? And can we go ahead and approve them as they are read? Sounds good. I make a motion to approve the October 23rd minutes.
Okay, I'll
Anybody-
make the motion, yep. Yep,
You second the motion. Any questions or concerns? No. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Good, so moved, and there we have it. Okay, thank you very much, Elizabeth, for those minutes.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving right along, citizens petitions and comments.
I just have
Any-
a question
Okay,
about the copper beech trees. Anything further on that from the residents, Mark?
Yeah, I do have an update. some members of the Groton Conservation Advocate Group reached out to us and have expressed interest in doing some fundraising for to help offset the cost of caring for the trees. There was a question, and I know we've talked about the beech trees and the disease. Apparently, the disease can get into the trunk or into the bark and to the leaves, and so we had the arborist come back because our initial meeting he didn't mention the disease in the bark of the tree, and so he came back, and I just found out today that the beech fungus is only in the leaves; it's not in the bark.
Oh, good.
Which is good, I guess. So they are. We're planning to begin care for those trees in the springtime, and we'll see how successful they are with fundraising to offset the cost. And I think I had told everybody we're going to use the foliar approach, so spraying the leaves. It's a little bit less money, and we'll be able to monitor it more closely. We won't have to make a 2-year investment in care for the trees. If we went the injection route, it's like a 2-year commitment. So we can, with the foliar spray, all we have to do, we'll be able to just see if it works after 1 year.
Thank you, Mark.
I received a question. What is the status of Mary Jo at the senior center?
She is out on long-term medical disability.
Okay. Does
Right now, her projected return date is February.
okay. All right. Got it. Okay.
Any other petitions from citizens or comments?
Could I ask a question? Do you know the cost of what you need for the trees? I might be able to get you a donation. You can let me know, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, there was a couple of, I think it was in one of the minutes that,
Yes, it was
Is that
1,200 per tree.
1,200 per tree?
oh, okay, thank you.
And how many trees do we have?
2.
Okay,
And that's for, I think, 4 applications. One, they'd be over a series of weeks in the spring.
okay. All right. See what I can do.
Okay, moving right along, town council referrals, Mark,
None.
okay? Correspondence and communications.
Excuse me, Dom, before we go beyond that, have we heard from Barry Dunn on the District 4 facilities assessment?
We don't have a final report yet.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, correspondence and communications. And I lost the video for some reason.
Oh,
We're all here.
we're all still here.
I can hear you and you can hear me, so that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
All right, I know I said it twice or 3 times, correspondence and communications, nada. Okay,
Good.
commissioners' reports.
Dom, you forgot about one major piece of communication.
Okay, well, I was gonna get to that a little later.
Okay.
Okay, why don't we do the Director of Parks and Recreation? Your report, Mark?
Okay. in addition to the printed report that was sent out on Monday, and I'm sorry that it was so late, with last Monday being a holiday and the meeting being moved up a week, my whole schedule was off. So apologize for the late mailing of that. Anyway, in addition to the printed report, I did include information about, we went to, well, the town council, I think about 3 weeks ago, approved an additional $1.7 million for the Sutton Park project. And then last week, the RTM also approved that money. So we have an additional $1.7 million for the project, which brings the total project funds now to 4.6 million, which should allow us to do all of the projected work that we have scheduled for Sutton Park. We're going through the permitting process now and hope to be under construction sometime in spring or early summer.
Mark, is that the town's most popular park?
It is heavily used.
Yeah.
You know, there's a basketball court there. There's the skate park, which is used quite a bit. There's a playground there. And then there's 2 ball fields out in the back. So it does get used quite a bit.
Yeah, then I think there's a bunch of barbecue grill, a lot of families.
There is, yes. And there's a pavilion out there also.
Pavilion, yeah.
That gets rented a lot during from spring until early fall, with birthday parties and different family gatherings and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, our community outreach coordinator, Clayton, is leaving in a couple of weeks, and we have extended an offer and received a signed conditional letter back for a program supervisor. So that person is going to be going through the background checks and drug tests and all of that over the next few weeks, and should be starting probably the second week in December.
Mark, do you know why the town council added so much more money to Sutton Park?
Well, I think they wanted to, the money that had been previously appropriated would have left the renovations to the playground out.
Yeah.
And it also would have left out, there's going to be like a kind of a community seating area near the playground, and the second basketball court. So they needed that additional money. They wanted to complete the whole project and not have, you know, this beautiful new skate park and have this rundown playground right next to it.
Right. Okay.
What's a state park? I'm sorry.
The skate park where the skateboarders. Yeah.
State park.
Skate, yes. Not the state park, the skate park.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's been
Mark,
there.
a question. What area is the program supervisor responsible for? Who's on letter?
So they will be filling Elizabeth McDonald's position. They'll have a variety of responsibilities, but one of them will be special events.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, our old friend, the golf course.
Yes. So the operational analysis is wrapping up. There's a golf advisory board meeting coming up just after the Thanksgiving holiday. At that time, they'll be looking at the proposal for rates. based on the information that the consultant is wrapping up. And just to let you folks know, we're planning on having a joint meeting on December 18th, which is when we're scheduled to meet next. So that will be a joint meeting to have a discussion about setting rates and what proposed changes might be coming to the golf course. And that, I know we just switched ours meetings to 5, which is great. Thank you, Dom, for that suggestion. But I think that meeting will probably move back to 7, which is when the GAB normally meets at 7. Although I will check to confirm, and I will let everybody know whether it's going to be at 5 or at 7.
So when you say changes, what do you mean?
Well, every year the rates get adjusted.
Yeah, okay, it's just gonna be the pricing. Okay.
Well, it could be other things.
Oh,
Two.
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one of them is what Mike asked for, is to get rid of those red flags. You know, they should have dealt with that by now. Remember, we referred that to them?
Oh, yeah. And the consultant has a suggestion for that too. So,
Oh, good, okay.
yeah.
Mark, will we have an opportunity to see the recommendations before the December 18th meeting?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I suspect that it's going to be a lengthy discussion with the GAB, and then whatever proposed changes, yes, will be sent to the sent to the commission prior to, so that they can go over.
Now, is
Yeah.
Todd and Eric gonna be there or not?
Yes, I'm going to send them an email to let them know that they should be at the 18th, on the meeting on the 18th, the joint meeting.
How does the Park and Rec feel about that? I mean, it's gonna be really the first time that we discuss his report, right?
Yep.
Which may have some stuff in it that may affect Todd and Eric. So, I mean, we might have some preferences, some agreements or disagreements with the consultant. You know, that may affect those guys.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they're public meetings, so even if we didn't invite them, they could still, watch the meetings. I think they ought to be part of the discussion.
huh. Okay, so he's going to be, all right, okay.
Well, I mean, we could go into we could have an executive session. We'd have to be in person. Or maybe not record a virtual meeting. I'd have to look into those things.
Well, I guess it depends on what you think the consultant's going to be coming up with. Right? You know.
Yeah.
Or maybe if we get a draft first, we
Yeah.
can make a determination. Do you have any sense of when we're going to get a first draft?
Within the next few days.
Okay.
But Mark, a consultant makes recommendations. We don't
Right.
necessarily have to accept those recommendations, correct?
That is correct, right. And,
Okay.
and I also want to point out that the council will also be weighing in on and hearing the recommendations from the consultant.
Huh.
And the council has final say.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, how does the consultant feel about communicating his results in front of Todd and Eric? Have you talked to him about that?
I have a meeting with him on Friday. I don't think he's going to have any problem at all. He's pretty much a straight shooter.
Okay.
That was my impression.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I can ask him.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
ask
you
him
know,
on Friday.
if he doesn't, yeah, okay. All right, if he's going to give his, two opinions on things, then, hey, if- I'm fine with it then.
Okay,
Yeah. But yeah, if you could just send it out, that would be
sure.
great. We can have a
Yep.
heads. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark, will our joint meeting with the GAB be virtual or in person?
Probably virtual. I mean,
That would
typically
be
they
my
are,
preference, yeah.
yeah. And I think we've all got accustomed to virtual meetings, and I think they work pretty well.
Mark, I have one question about the golf course. I remember that the bathroom was getting refurbished or renovated. Has
Yes.
that been completed?
It's still a couple of weeks away.
Okay.
So they've run into a couple of issues. When they were tearing out walls, they found pipes in the walls that were wrapped with asbestos.
Okay.
And that stopped the project until they could get a contractor to come in that specializes in asbestos mitigation. And so that delayed the project probably by 6 weeks or so.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, and then they ran into another issue where different sections of the building that are now all tied together, the floor didn't line up. In other words, the floors were at different heights. So they had to bring in somebody to get all of the floors in the area that was being constructed to get that level. So that was something else that held the project up a little bit.
Let me see.
But yeah, it's going to be nice when it's done. And the latest that I've heard was mid-December. They're trying to get it done ahead of the holiday party season.
Yeah. Nice. Anything else about the golf course?
No, that's it for the golf course.
Any people, any of the members have any questions?
No,
Okay, let's move on to Trails Task Force.
Yeah, there's been no meeting since the last commission meeting.
Okay, athletic fields.
The preliminary budget for the 3 proposed sites is under development. It's not finalized yet, so they're still working on that. There is an athletic fields task force meeting tomorrow night to, I think, begin to look at the preliminary budget.
Okay. And unfinished business, I think we took care of a couple of the approval of minutes. Is there anything else? Okay, new business. I want everyone to know that I thought long and hard about my resignation from the group, which I have enjoyed tremendously. But I think I've been on it for 5 years or so, and I think it's time for new blood to take my place, to tell you the truth, as I venture on to a little more travel than I have been. And I do travel a lot, and I think we're going to be traveling a little more. And I don't think it would be fair to you folks for me missing so many meetings and etc. So I want to thank you for everything. I have enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure to work with all of you. And that's about it. So thank you very much. So
Thank you,
your
Tom.
your next meeting date would be
12/18,
Time to be determined.
and time to BD, right?
okay.
And I think Mike is on the call. I think I saw his face flash.
Yeah.
It looked
Sorry,
like he was
about
in the
15 minutes
car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, Mike, at this point, you've been promoted to chair of the committee.
Okay. Sounds good.
And, yeah, a quick meeting tonight, which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So are we doing 5 o'clock for the next meeting, or we don't know yet, or what was going
Yeah,
on?
we don't know yet, Mike. I need
Okay.
to, I'm gonna reach out to, Margaret and try to get a sense from her whether 5 will work or 7.
Is it a joint meeting? Is that why we're
It
kind of?
is, yes. Yeah.
Right.
So Mike, the next meeting, there's gonna be a discussion about some of the changes that the consultant is recommending.
Okay.
And I will be sending a draft of the report to both the Golf Advisory Board and to the Parks and Rec Commission prior to the meeting.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. If there's nothing else.
Dom, I want to know where you're traveling to, because you've gone to some pretty cool places
go.
already.
So it was pretty
Uh,
good.
So
So-
we have a trip planned for Normandy is one of them.
Oh, wow.
So that's definitely on the agenda. We've put
Yeah.
a thing down for it, and we'd like to go to the Arctic.
Oh, wow.
So those are 2 things on my bucket list, not to
Cool.
mention Florida in February. So yeah, so we're going to be a little busy, and then Canada in the summer, so
Nice.
yeah, so anyway, but you're not getting rid of me that fast though, Mark.
Yeah,
I'll be
no, I know,
I'll
I
be
know.
hanging
I was
around, I'll
just
be hanging
curious.
around the pickleball courts, and I'll be
You'll be
biting
fine.
your ankles to get those courts put up. So
Okay,
but
all
anyway,
right. I'll continue to wear my high heel boots.
you better.
Stilts.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure, folks. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Dom, I know I sent you an email, but I do
You
want to thank
did, and I
you for
appreciate that.
all of the work that you've done and pushing to get to continue to move the department forward and improve, what the department is doing through our programs and services.
Thank you. Folks, I guess that's it.
Nope.
No,
We had a motion. There's no second. We can't leave without a second.
Yeah,
Well,
I
this
can,
is true.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And
As
it's official.
usual, thank you, Elizabeth.
Just think you won't listen to that again. Good luck, Tom. Have a
Thank you very much.
great
All right.
travels.
take
Bye.
care. All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.